Hey guys, how you doing? It's Dan McDonald, the Life-Regenerator. I'm chilling in Santa Monica, and I have a friend of mine here, and one of the things that I've gotten over the last couple of years is the question of what type of water do I drink? Well, the interesting thing about that was that when I was living at the RV, I would just go up to the stream, which was about a mile behind my house, and then I would just drink like a camel, you know? And I would drink about maybe a quart of water, and that would be all the water I needed. And when I travel, I drink the Fiji water, so I never really had that great of a question. And so today we're going to talk about the best. I'm going to ask Tyler. Anyways, let's just get started.
Sure.
What's your opinion on what the best kind of water is to drink?
Well, as Lou mentions, in the videos that you've done with him, the best kind of water that we can have in our bodies is the water that nature provides us. Now, Mother Earth has, an abundance of, which is geothermal water, the water that comes from the ground, from different springs around the planet. And most people on the planet don't have access to that type of water, which is structured water, oftentimes alkaline, with antioxidant potential, where it, can actually penetrate through the cells, regulate the cells, the glands, the organs, and just allow us to stay intact and really run efficiently. And I haven't really been introduced to your viewers yet, but ever since I was born, my grandmother has always been into alternative medicine, alternative health. So my whole life has been raised with cutting edge technology and always learning the best of the best, whatever's coming out on the market. And about 3.5 years ago, I was introduced to Enagic, which is a Japanese company. Since they've been in the United States, they are the #1 producer of a water ionization device. So ionized water, or alkaline antioxidant, Enagic's the name of the company, and Kangen is the trademark for the type of water that they produce from their machines. Now, being in Japan, they are the #1 company in Japan that produces water ionization devices, and it's certified as a medical device. And the reason why is because of the metals that they're using inside of the machine, the titanium and the platinum, which are medical grade. And so what happens is this water passes over the titanium plates that are coated in platinum, and what it does is it literally creates an electric charge to the water. So just like when water runs down a stream and it's going through all the minerals, it's generating these electrons that are causing an antioxidant potential. And they're also getting structured and able to permeate through our bodies. So scientists over 50 years ago learned how to mimic the water that's out in nature through these devices. So my grandmother, being into health, alternative medicine, years and years ago, she started buying these devices. So she's literally owned several of these before she found this one. And the other ones that she utilized, she had them for about 6 months, maybe a year, and all of a sudden it went kaput and didn't work any longer.
So your grandma's kind of into the woo-woo.
Yeah, she's into the woo-woo. She's got Royal Raymond Rife machines and all kinds of lasers and all kinds of cool stuff.
So all that, water expert, that's I got it, because I'm pretty well versed in that lingo. But in other words, this water is cleansing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's water, basically a way to distinguish tap water or bottled water versus geothermal water or Kangen water, is that water that comes out of the tap is known as bulk water. And what that means is the structure of the molecules that hold the water together, the hydrogen and the oxygen, it's clustered in really large clumps, because there's a lot of other things in the water other than just hydrogen and oxygen, because they put chlorine and, there's formaldehyde and arsenic and lead and barium.
So tap water is unacceptable.
Oh, I don't drink it. And I know a lot of people who don't. I don't recommend
tap water.
No.
Okay.
Honestly, there's just so much in there. I know people that drink it, and God bless them.
It doesn't hydrate as well.
Definitely doesn't hydrate. It goes in and goes out. You'll notice if you drink an 8-ounce glass of tap water or bottled water from the store, you notice the water kind of like slushes around and it just stays there for like maybe a half hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Whereas when you drink Kangen water, you can drink 8, 10, 12 ounces, and literally in like 10 minutes, you don't feel the water because it's permeated through the cells and into the organs, into the bloodstream. And so the difference is the bulk water is kind of like, if you imagine a chain link fence, and you take a baseball and you throw a baseball at a chain link fence, it just bounces back.
Tap water.
That's tap water. Now you take a handful of BBs, you throw it at the chain link fence, a lot of those BBs are going to get through, through the fence, through the chain link fence. Well, it's the same thing with this water. The other water is going to hydrate you. It's guaranteed that it's going to get into your body. Your body's going to do what it can with the water you give it. But if we can give it water that is structured water, meaning that it's hexagonal, or structured water. When it's hexagonal, which is like plant water, you get fresh vegetables like the lemon ginger glass. You take an orange or you take an apple, you juice that. That has structured alkaline water.
That's BB water.
That's BB water. Yeah,
so eat your fruits and vegetables.
Eat your fruits and vegetables. Drink your fresh juices, and at your best, people say, well, can I just drink alkaline water? Now, this machine has 3 main benefits. The number 1 benefit is that it's alkaline water, and which means it has more alkaline minerals than acidic minerals. So it just means
it neutralizes toxemia.
Neutralizes toxemia, right? But even beyond the alkalinity is the structurization. When you drink structured water, it's going to permeate deeper into the system, hydrate your cells deeper into the body, and allow you to flush and regulate the cells more powerfully than bulk water or unstructured water. The third and most important benefit of this water is the antioxidant potential. Now, there's meters that can test antioxidant potential. It's called oxidation reduction potential, or ORP, and you can actually test the negative electron potential of a solution. So when we test this water, it tests at -6 to 800 antioxidant. Now, I'm not going to get too technical because we're just kind of introducing this concept, but what that means is it's literally like donating these negative electrons that are going into the bloodstream, into the body, and any free radicals which are missing an electron. This water donates those electrons to those free radicals and just neutralizes it. It makes you more perfect and more balanced, more whole, and eliminates the waste. It makes it inert and just helps it to eliminate much more quickly. So that's like the biggest benefit is not the alkalinity, because some people will say, well, the stomach acids are just going to neutralize the alkalinity anyway. Well, that's true to an extent. If you drink 2 ounces, it's going to get neutralized by that, acidic fluid in the stomach, the digestive juices. But if you haven't eaten for 2 hours, there's not very much of that going on in the stomach. When you see some food and you actually go in to take a bite of it, you start producing enzymes, you start producing hydrochloric acid. But when you drink Kangen water, it will neutralize that, and also the alkalinity of the water will get neutralized. But the antioxidant potential, it goes through the stomach, into the bloodstream, into the organs, just like hydrating you.
So it hydrates you, definitely, and neutralizes. So I can't wait till this video is over so I can get a glass of that stuff.
Me too.
But so I want to tell everyone that the reason why I haven't ever promoted this machine is because I don't own one. Chris and I were going to get one, but I'm on the road. But I will say that all of my most sophisticated health food friends, like my friend Dara here, and she's a celebrity raw chef. She's got one, Lou's got one, you guys got one. Several of my other friends have these Kangen water machines.
Now, we all know when we start alkalinizing our system, when we start getting rid of the toxins, we're going to feel better, we're going to have more energy, we're going to start getting rid of the cancers and the excess weight. I mean, my dad, for example, just one story, he's in my family, I can share the story. He's, he eats, pretty much a standard diet, meats and he eats his vegetables, and my mom bought one of these machines and just said, here, drink this water, to my dad. So he starts drinking the water, and literally within 3 weeks, he lost 12 pounds that he didn't even try. He just was drinking alkaline, antioxidant, structured water, and it was just starting to hydrate his body. And when we start hydrating and we start getting the alkalinity up, we start getting rid of the fat cells, because the fat cells are what store the toxins. So when we get the alkalinity up, it creates this buffer like phosphorus, magnesium, calcium, and there's other alkaline minerals. But when we have those in our system, it creates a buffer. So that buffer allows us to dump toxins into the colon so that we can eliminate it. But if we're running super acidic, then the body's going to start storing those toxins. Like, I'm sure you've educated them many times about this stuff. So it's really basic. That's just one story. And so the other story that I'll share just real briefly is a friend of ours, Eric. He had acid reflux. And acid reflux is where you eat some food and like really shortly after, these acids start coming up the esophagus.
That's right.
And it's horrible. So he started drinking this water before he bought a machine. Within 3 days, he stopped taking his medication, which he had been taking for like 7 years. No more acid reflux. On the 5th day, he called and said, "Give me my machine, I want this." As I never had this type of response to something, getting rid of my acid reflux. So he bought a machine, and he's owned it for almost 2 years now and hasn't had to take his medication. He didn't even change his diet. He didn't start eating fresh vegetables and living foods. He just changed his water. That was all he did. And knowing that we're 80% water in our bodies, the quality of the water that we're drinking constitutes a huge majority of the health that we're experiencing. So those are just 2 really simple stories.
Wow, dude, I'm sure you got a lot more. I have to be honest with you, this is a lot more fascinating talking to you. I mean, we didn't go over any of this. You know my style. Let's just do a video, dude, And I'm absolutely, fascinated at your presentation, dude. You kind of remind me of me, but a lot smarter. But
and he mentioned I'm an expert in water. I mean, there's so many people out there that know so much more about water than I do. I'm always looking. My beloved partner Dodie and I, we're always like, what's the next best thing that we can integrate to make ourselves better, and then of course empower the world with this knowledge and this wisdom. So
these guys are Jedis. There's only a few Jedis. You don't find them very often. The way they live is amazing, and it inspires me. I'm glad we're friends. This is just an introduction. I wanted to give everyone a chance because they've asked me for so many years about the water. I know that a lot of people are going to want to at least look into this machine and get more information. So how can they get more information from you guys about this?
We have a website with all kinds of free content. There's a free ebook on there. You can download that, start learning about the acid-alkaline balance as it relates to Kangen water. And I'll say one last thing, just to give some authority on this machine and let you know how incredible it is. 2 things. Number one, the number 1 doctor that he actually developed the colonoscope, the camera that goes up people's bums to look at their colon. He actually invented that machine. His name is Hiromi Shinya, Dr. Hiromi Shinya. He's the author of the enzyme factor and the microbe factor. And in enzyme factor, first of all, he's treated literally over 370,000 people looking up their rears. He does not treat anybody unless they're drinking Kangen water. He, puts them on fresh vegetables. He designed the colonoscope.
Oh, okay, the colonoscope.
And so he looks at people's colons. And when he saw the results that Kangen water got for people, drinking internally and also externally. By the way, there's so much more that we can do with this machine other than drinking water. It's amazing.
Well,
amazing.
It's funny that you say that. I know that we were going to try to keep this as short as possible,
Yeah.
but I'm just, because you know me, I'm straight up, I like to use the Kangen water for enemas. I mean, it just soothes and cools and heals, and it just feels so good compared to any other water. Because I never use tap water for enemas. I'll go to the store and buy bottled water, but when I use the Kangen water, when I'm at a friend's house that has a Kangen machine, I'll fill up a pitcher and I'll take it in there and I'll do an enema, and it's just, you can feel the soothing results. So this is another little thing. Maybe we'll do another one. Let us know if you guys want to learn more. There's a lot of testimonials. There's tons more information. That was a fantastic, informative video. I'm sure that we're at least going to help a few people. So I'm glad that we had this chance to share, man.